Hello, and welcome to Spellbreak. I'm Asmoel, and today I will be taking you through the basics of the game. In Spellbreak, you take the role of a battle mage, and you use your magical powers to be the last one standing. To start, we will head to the practice area to get familiar with the game's mechanics. Like most games, we have a standard layout of movement keys W, A, S, and D, and space to jump. Every mage also has access to a double jump by pressing the space key twice. In Spellbreak, you use Gauntlets to amplify and attune your magical power to a certain element. You still can't cast spell without one. Each Gauntlet has a primary spell, which by default is cast with either left or right mouse for each hand respectively. Each spell you cast has its own mana cost. You can see your mana bar above your health right here. After not casting a spell for a short duration, your mana will recharge. However, if you run out of mana, you must recharge your mana to full prior to casting more spells. Each Gauntlet also has a Sorcery, which is cast with either Q or E, for left or right hand respectively. Each Sorcery has a cooldown attached to it. Sorceries do not cost mana, and have differing effects. In the game, we currently have 6 Gauntlets: Frost, Flame, Stone, Toxic, Lightning, and Wind. The Frost Gauntlet's primary spell is a long-range shot of high damage. After a brief charge, you can charge it for a shorter duration for reduced damage. The shot also leaves a trail of ice behind it. The sorcery for Frost is Blizzard. Upon completion, it freezes all enemies around you. Frozen mages take reduced damage. A Ball of Fire is the primary spell of the Flame Gauntlet. The fireball explodes on impact, dealing splash damage. The sorcery for Flame is a Firewall. You create a wall of fire on the ground, and all mages within it take damage. The Stone Gauntlet's primary spell cracks the earth in front of you to a limited range, or until blocked by terrain. It only takes effect upon ground contact, and while it can travel up hills, it cannot leave the ground, making it ill-suited against airborne enemies. The Boulder is the sorcery of the Stone Gauntlet. It starts small, but quickly grows in size and damage. It has a large hitbox and does splash damage upon impact with a mage or terrain. The Toxic Gauntlet's primary spell is a spray of 4 acidic shots in a shotgun-like pattern. If the shots do not hit an enemy, they splatter on terrain, dealing damage to all mages that step in them. The sorcery of this gauntlet is a poison cloud that damages all mages. The primary spell of the Lightning Gauntlet is a fast series of 3 arcs of lightning. The Lightning Storm is the sorcery of this gauntlet. You select an area to have lightning bolts land and damage mages. The Wind Gauntlet's primary spell allows you to unleash slashes of wind. This spell has an initial cast time, but once done, you can rapid fire it to your heart's content. The Wind Gauntlet also allows for vertical mobility by using the primary spell at your feet. This will launch you up in the air. The sorcery of this glove is the Whirlwind. This Whirlwind will slightly pull mages to the center where it will damage them. A major part of Spellbreak is elemental combinations. One such interaction is Flame and Toxic, which combine to create Dragonfire. These interactions follow real-life logic for the most part, such as flame melting ice. There are quite a few of these combinations, and you should experiment in the practice island. Next is the third active slot, which is for your rune. Runes are movement or other utility activatable abilities. They are, by default, bound to your R key, and they go from allowing you to dash a short distance, to seeing enemies through walls, flying, and even going invisible. Each type of rune has a cooldown, but they cost no mana. Next up are classes, which are the RPG element of Spellbreak. Each class has 1 passive and 3 scrolls. They can be selected or viewed by pressing B. You can also read all about them in the classes section in the main menu. At the start of each match, you may select 2 classes. When selecting a class, you unlock that class's passive, and you can unlock additional scrolls by entering a circle or picking up skill points. When you start your play, you will be taken to the practice island to await the start of a match. Upon the start of a match, the map will show up and you will be able to select a portal to dive through. Before the portal is unlocked though, shrines will show up across the map. Activate a shrine to receive a skill point and high rarity items. As time passes, the map will shrink but progressively smaller circles, and while outside the enclosing blue circle, you will take damage. During a match, or in the practice island, you can access your inventory by pressing Tab. Here, you can access your amulet, belt, or boots. There are also 4 interactable slots where you can store gauntlets and items. These can be used by pressing the numbers 1 through 4. One of such items are potions. There are both armor and health potions, and they come in both the small and large variety. Potions can be drunk on the move, and they give their contents over time. Now go forth, start playing, and enjoy being a battle mage.